Salute the ones who died, the ones who gave their lives, so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love.
Good morning, respected Principal Brother Victor, all the teachers and dear students present among us. Today, Class 10B proudly presents an assembly on the topic Saluting our Armed Forces.
I think we can all agree that being in the armed forces is one of the most respected means of earning a livelihood. According to a survey, most 10-year-olds lean towards the profession of a doctor. Most preteens, that is 12-year-olds, prefer an astronaut. Most 16-year-olds prefer high-paying jobs of that of a businessman, actor, or social media influencer. The fascinating deal about the survey is that the percentage of military hopefuls increasing with the passing of summers.
Thank you, Joshi. Now with that, we shall begin the assembly with the Holy Spirit of God among us.
The brave die never, though they sleep in dust. Their courage nerves 1,000 living men, by Minor J. Savage. We are blessed and proud of our armed forces. The forces stand tall and protect us while we sleep peacefully. It's the sheer will and power of the armed forces that keep our country strong. Indian Army is one of the most respected armies in the world. Standing at an honorable 4th position in military, its main focus is to ensure national unity and national security. Our army is fighting against external aggressions and internal threats while simultaneously maintaining peace and security within the borders. Besides war and battle against terrorism, it also conducts humanitarian rescue operations during natural calamities and other disturbances like Operation Surya Hope.
Shauryam Daksham Yuddhe Balidan Paramo Dharma. The glorious history of India has had warriors like Maharana Pratap and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, whom the Mughals could not defeat. They had courage to die for their motherland. Today, such warriors in the Indian Armed Forces who have courage to sacrifice their lives for their motherland and their people.
Ranked as the 7th largest country in the world and flanked by few difficult neighbors, it is definitely a heroic task to safeguard India. But nothing can be too big of a task for Indians. The Indian Army is the vigilance arm of India that safeguards India from terrorist or insurgent attacks. They are always alert at the frontiers of India, whether it is land, air or water. Their incessant efforts towards protecting and uplifting our society helps India to move forward and come out as a major benefactor in the future among the first world nations.
Kadam Kadam Badhaye Ja was the regimental quick march of Subhash Chandra Bose, Indian National Army. Since 1947, the song became a patriotic anthem in India, written by Vanshidhar Shukla and composed by Ram Singh Thakuri in 1942. It was banned by the British after the Second World War. This song still inspires every Indian to serve the nation.
Now, our students will be featured in an upcoming video representing those who never gave us up and never let us down, and in unquoted simple words, never deserted us.
Thank you. Alpha, Team Alpha, do you copy? Yes, I copy! Major David speaking! One of our allies is down. There is an imposter among us near the same cliffs. Go with your squad and finish them off with no casualty. Over. Roger that!
The Indian Armed Forces are the military forces of the sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic Republic of India. Every soldier is a true patriot and is always ready to lay down his life in the service of our motherland. Our nation's protection and safety are totally dependent on our soldiers. The Indian Army is made up of different units of troops, of men and women alike, trained and prepared to fight on land, seas, and in the air as well. The motto of the Indian Army is service before self, and they strictly abide by their motto at all times. The Indian Army not only fights in wars, but also takes care of the rescue operations when natural calamities occur, like floods, cyclones, earthquakes, and other natural disasters. Our armed forces consists of 3 professional uniformed services, namely the Indian Army,
Seva Parmo Dharm,
the Indian Navy,
Sham No Varuna,
and the Indian Air Forces.
Navas Pasham Deeptam.
The President of India is the Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces. Now, I'd like to recite a poem with the title, I Am a Soldier by Diana Halper. I am a soldier. My heart is in the land. I fight for life and freedom as I walk upon the sand. I do not walk unworthy. I will not stand alone. The angels travel with me. I fight for the land and home. I am a soldier, a daddy and a friend, a comrade and a brother, a warrior to the end. I do not walk unknowing, the risk upon the way, for God travels with me each and every day. Thank you.
There are several security forces in India, collectively known as Central Armed Forces. They are as follows: CRPF, Central Reserve Police Force; CISF, Central Industrial Security Force; SSB, Shastra Seema Bal; AR, Assam Rifles; ITBP, Indo-Tibetan Border Police; NSG, National Security Guard; BSF, Border Security Force; Para-SF, Para Commandos; Ghatak, Cobra, Force 1, SFF, Special Frontier Force; Garud, SPG, Special Protection Group, Gorkha, with 246 battalions and various other facilities. The CRPF is considered the largest paramilitary force in India and has been sanctioned by more than 3 lakh staff since 2019.
Now Tanisha from class 10B will show us the different branches of armed forces that deal with the imposters among us.
LOC से लेकर LAC तक जिस किसी ने आंख उठाई देश की सेना ने उसका उसी की भाषा में जवाब दिया।
ज़मीं से चले हम आसमां के करीब, पर्वतों से चले हम लहरों के बीच। हम पे तेरी छाप है ओ नीले आसमां, छा जाने को तुझ पे ही तैयार हम सदा। जिसने भी चीरा सरहदों को हमें दी है सजा। यहाँ राज हम करते गरजे जब तो पहुंचे गूंज सरहद के पार। हवा भी थम गई देख कर ये रफ्तार। बरसे हम जिस पहर वो पल भी जम गया। जज्बा ये देख कर दुश्मन सहम गया। न देख तू इस तरह नजरें न तू उठा।
मैं लड़ जाना है लहू में एक चिंगारी। जिद से जुनू तक है जाना, हर कतरा बोल रहा। मैं लड़ जाना है लहू में एक चिंगारी। जिद से जुनू तक है जाना, हर कतरा बोल रहा। छल्ला सिर ते बन के कफन जद तुरिया, तन के मौत नू वाचा मारे वे थर थर कंबदे सारे। ये दिल की मशाले जोश से जला के जलती लपटों को हमने हाथों में है थाम लिया। जाना के सारा जमाना फिर देगा मिसाला यारों सबको अपने नाम दिया। ओ मैं लड़ जाना है लहू में एक चिंगारी। जिद से जुनू तक है जाना, हर कतरा बोल रहा। छल्ला सिर ते बन के कफन जद तुरिया, तन के मौत नू वाचा मारे वे थर थर कंबदे सारे। ओ छल्ला सिर ते बन के कफन जद तुरिया, तन के मौत नू वाचा मारे वे थर थर कंबदे सारे।
है मेरी जमी अफसोस नहीं जो तेरे लिए 100 दर्द सहे। महफूज रहे तेरी आन सदा, चाहे जान मेरी ये रहे ना रहे। मेरी जमी महबूब मेरी नस नस में तेरा इश्क बहे। फीका ना पड़े कभी रंग तेरा, जिस्मों से निकल के खून कहे। सरसों से भरे खलियान मेरे, जहाँ झूम के भंगड़ा पा न सका। आबाद रहे वो गांव मेरा, जहाँ लौट के वापस जा न सका। ओ वतना वे मेरे वतना वे, तेरा मेरा प्यार निराला था। कुर्बान हुआ तेरी असमत पे, मैं कितना नसीबों वाला था। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा, गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा। इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू।
The Indian Armed Forces are under the management of the Ministry of Defence of the Government of India. It is the world's second largest military force. The Indian Armed Forces has been engaged in a number of major military operations, including Indo-Pak War of 1971, the Kargil War, and the Siachen conflict, among many others. India honors its armed forces and its military officials annually on Indian Armed Force Flag Day every year on 7 December.
Warriors, knights, samurais are some of the names given to those who die for their fraction, for their people. Now, we will tell you the tale of a similar man called Abhinandan Vardhaman. I'm sure you've heard of it. So, let's start with the assembly.
The Indian soldiers are true patriots of our country. They put their lives on the line for the safety of our country. One such example is Abhinandan Vardhaman, who is an Indian Air Force fighter pilot and the first Indian to have been captured by Pakistan since the Kargil War in 1999. On 27 February 2019, Vardhaman was engaged in a dogfight against few Pakistani aircrafts who had breached into Indian-administered Kashmir. While chasing a Pakistani aircraft, he accidentally entered the Pakistani airspace, where his own jet was shot down. He ejected safely and landed in a village of Pakistani-administered Kashmir. He was soon surrounded by a hostile crowd of villagers who mob lynched him, and later he was surrendered to the Pakistani army. Prime Minister Imran Khan announced his release as a gesture of peace and generosity, but in reality they were under pressure by various countries on the issue of his release. Abhinandan crossed the Indian-Pakistan border at Wagah on 1st March 2019. Vardhaman went through severe mental torture but still never gave up any bit of information to the Pakistani authorities. Abhinandan dedicated his whole life in the servitude of our country. But not just that, but when the time came, he was ready to be a martyr for his country. We are grateful for him for his secrecy. His sacrifice will never be forgotten.
Now, sending our blessings to the ones who are at the border for protection among us, we would like to present a group song.
There shall be showers of blessings. This is the promise of love. There shall be seasons refreshing, sent from the heaven above. Showers of blessings, showers of blessings we need. Mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead. There shall be showers of blessing, send them upon us, O Lord. Grant to us now a refreshing, drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead. There shall be showers of blessings, oh that today they might fall. Now as to God can confessing, now as on Jesus we call. Showers of blessings, showers of blessings we need. Mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead. Showers of blessings, showers of blessings we need. Mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead.
Values and the trust of the Indian people and our nation. They are significant for the assurance of our protection. The best we can do for them is to remember they are there for us, feel thankful for them, and wish them prosperity. Thank you. Now I would request Brother Hector to please address the assembly.
So good morning teachers and good morning students, and well done class 10B. I must catch those that now I know who destroyed my plants in the cliffs. I thought some army people had come, but wonderfully presented the video. It's really a professional job, and done a very good job. I congratulate the class teacher and the students of class 10B. It was really a professional job, and you can make out they have taken a lot of trouble, especially to make a video like that. It takes a lot of time, lot of preparation, and also a lot of patience is required. I'm sure they've spent, all those who have made even other classes also made videos, and it takes many hours. It may be a 5 minutes video or 3 minutes videos, but then they have to spend a lot of time, preparation, planning, photography, videography, and take the shots again and again. So I'm really, when I saw the video, especially the children, in the beginning I did not know that they were students. When I saw the uniform, I thought they were outsiders. So professionally done. Okay, so thank you very much, and thank also the class teacher who had motivated with them. Thank you. The armed forces. October 19th, I think, we are getting a 25th batch. Now, passing out of 25, Silver Jubilee batch will be visiting our school. In November, we are having a Diamond Jubilee batch. That means they passed out 60 years back. Just 9 or 10 have left. Many of them have died. They just want to come and visit the school. And every time the batches come, I find quite a big number of our ex-students, especially the boarders, because of that maybe easier, are in the armed forces. You have met them last year when they came to speak to them. And one of the things that they say that why did they join the armed forces? And what you need is, one is the discipline and sacrifice. You know how the training that takes place in the armed forces. One of my ex-students from Mangalore, he joined the Navy, then he found it so tough, he ran away. Then the military police had to look for him, then he surrendered and he joined and he did well. He was under the military police, I think he was sentenced. Please sit there only. Okay, so you need lot of discipline, sacrifice, and a very, very hard work, whether it is the police also, whether the military. Okay, these are the warriors. And a lot of things I was not aware of it. I mean, I joined the religious. Even in our life also we had a lot of difficulties. When I joined the brothers, we had like 2 years of novitiate. And we had to do a lot of manual work. So I have no problem working in the mud or the field. Because sometimes we'll have a digging and carrying mud from 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock, 15 minutes break. We were not used to it, but we had to do it as brothers, part of the training. And part of the training was, one is called obedience. Same thing you have in the army also. One of the things is in the brothers or the religious brothers, sisters, we have a disciplined life and we obey our superiors. And my my novice master, brother who was in charge of the Irishman, is dead now, a very holy man. He'll tell us to dig and remove all the mud, take it there. After 2 weeks, he says, go and fill the mud again. And we used to get very angry. What is this? But this is one of the way of giving us training of one is obedience. Okay, and do what you are told. In those days, now things have changed. Now when you see the armed forces, the armed forces spend a lot of time, or the government spends a lot of armed forces, not only from the external threats, it's the internal threats now is greater. Many of our soldiers and the police all die due to the problem, internal conflicts in India. So who's responsible? We are responsible. Whenever there is a violence, whether in Kashmir or wherever it is, that we have to call the army. Their main job is to protect us from the external forces. But unfortunately, they have to spend a lot of energy, time, money, from the internal, from the Indians. Now let's not go back to the India. How can we respect our country? Do we have in our own school? Sometimes we feel very, very sad is that when all the teachers and most of the 90% students work very hard, we have few of these students who damage, our energy is wasted. Because we have a lot of plans for this school, for the students. Sometimes I feel very sad and get very angry because my energy, or teachers' energy, coordinators' energy is wasted for taking care of the discipline, which could have been avoidable. For us, every minute is important. For even India, government, for every minute they spend crores of rupees for the defense. And you can save it. We are very good in giving advice. I get a lot of advice from the old students, from the parents, from the students. But how much of advice do you take? And I feel very sad. See, the threat starts here. First, let's start working from here. What can I do? John Kennedy had said, he must have this famous quote, do not ask what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country. So each one of us ask that question. What school is giving me? No, let me say what I can do for the school. I never ask what school is giving me, what facilities I get. No. Every morning I ask what can I do today for the school and for my children, for my staff. I ask every day. I make plans every day. Ask the teachers. I send a message at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. You are fast asleep. I start my work, all my office work. Then daytime, I feel like let me go around, meet children, do other works. And what happens? And even the teachers, the fighting takes place, breaking things. And I feel very, very sad. I feel very, very angry, and I feel very, very sad. In spite of, then we doing so much taking care of our school. We went for the rally, children just throwing things. Freedom, we need to have freedom, but with the freedom with responsibility. I have a lot of freedom, but I have to use that freedom in a right way. So I know most of you are very good at it. The fact that the assembly that took place, a lot of, they must have given a lot of it, they used it, the energy, the positive energy. So I call upon you, the two things are there. Let's start doing it now here. Okay, we have done wonderful things, we have achieved a lot of things. We are giving you a lot of opportunities. For example, the games. Nainital had never participated in the school games. I had to contact the Bareilly zone, let us join. We are like untouchables. We are not even in Uttarakhand zone, that is Mussoorie, nor we are in UP zone. So because we joined, then All Saints and St. Mary's also joined. Now you have a lot of opportunity. Whether in all games, I am encouraging all types of games. Those are not physically good, we have a chess. Maybe later on there are carom tournament also by the council. Archery, the shooting. Now we are starting with the squash. We are planning to start the work within 2 weeks. I'm taking that courage, having 2 synthetic tennis courts. Need money. Your parent can tell your parents they can contribute. We have made an appeal to the old students. No response. They have been giving all the suggestions that the color has to be changed, these students have to be tough and everything. When I ask them, then nobody replies. Okay, we are very good in giving suggestions. Let's do what can be done. On our part, we are doing that. Hopefully, we are getting a good chance to have a renovated indoor swimming pool. Almost everything is done. Last permission is there with the heating system. For whom? This is for you. We couldn't have a swimming tournament this year because we did not have a full-time coach, couldn't come. Then we started late and most of them forgotten how to swim. We want to revive the boating. We want to revive some of the traditions that we have. So we will have hopefully maybe by end of next year in April, we'll have a swimming pool. Okay, some old students have promised us covered swimming pool so that I can see the students, swimmers shining in the nationals. I think Uttarakhand did well in the CIC games in the skating. We got some awards. Yesterday, some of our boys got under 13 and open chess tournament. He came first. I didn't even know that he had that talent. There are so much of potential in you. There's hidden talents in you. Use it positively. I have to tell you, I never got all these opportunities when I was in the school up to 10th standard. I studied in a convent school. Sadly, we never got an opportunity. You can ask the teacher, I tell the teacher, give a chance to everybody. It's not a show off, it's not a competition assembly. Why do I ask to make videos? That helps you. Who knows, we may have a famous director in future, a producer, photographer, the videographer. Okay, and this video may inspire many of you to join the army. Earlier we had many students, now very few. Maybe because many of them joined the Sainik schools. It's possible. But there's a good scope for that. So when we are giving you that opportunity, please use it nicely. But some of you use this opportunity to bunk classes, waste time. Now that is not pardonable. Remember, you have to pass class 10, you have to pass class 9, you have to pass 11 and 12. Especially these students, 9 to 12. 9 and 11, you know very well, all the 11s are not here, they have the exam. These marks are very important for your promotion. For the 10s and 12s, these marks are very important to get admission in other college. Last 1 week, I have got at least 15 to 16 emails which are forwarded to the office to find out whether these students have studied or not from abroad. And all of them are fake. At least 12 using St. Joseph's College that they have studied, and one of the subjects is environmental science, and we don't even have it. Some university. So I have forwarded to Mr. Sharma and Mrs. Jim. I'm getting every day, last few days. Suddenly they are using our name because school is doing well. They are using that. There was an incident a few months back. I got from an American university, or no, England, London, from the passport authority, the visa authority, immigration one, to find out that whether they studied in our school, because they knew our school is an English medium school and these students claimed to be our students and they could not speak a word of English. Straight away they had a doubt, they sent us a mail. I forwarded to the office and the office people said, brother, these are not our students. So they, as soon as say St. Joseph's College, Nainital, the people will straight away know, because this is one of the oldest schools in India. It's almost 133. Some of these schools in Nainital are well-known schools. You go anywhere, they know about it. So they expect certain kind of behavior from you. Then I get emailed reference letters about when you apply for a certain university, they would like to know about you. Now, I had 2 cases last year. They were not my students, they passed out in 2017. But they wanted my reference letter. Then when I asked them, they didn't have good character. They were not very cooperative. They were not serious students. How do you expect me to give a letter? Because when a letter signed by the principal, it has a weightage. And when they get that admission because of a letter and they behave the same way, next year they will not send us. They will not admit those students. They say the principal is bluffing. So therefore, I don't sign those kind of letters. There are many have asked, for the get to a good university, you are good sportsman, the behavior, only those are good I will give, because if I give and you don't reach the expectation of that college, next year they will not admit the other good students. The St. Joseph, they just sign and give it. So therefore, it's very, very much, these are the years, you got some of your class 12s, maybe class 12 or 10s, you got another 1.5 months of classes. We got Diwali holidays, from mid-November, you have the final exams, the prelim exam, make use of it. Remember, you may have done very well, at the end, few incidents can spoil your character. And the memories are always the last one, not what you achieved earlier. People will remember St. Joseph, not what happened 100 years back, or not happened what 5 years back. For you, for your parents, what is happening now? We cannot live in the past glory. None of us can live that. Some of the cricketers may not be, there's some of the Hardik Pandya, all these fellows, some say they should not be in the team now. They may have done very well earlier. There are many questions, even Virat Kohli, just few months back. He was the classes we have. So please make use of them. Have these memories. Teachers should have good memories of you. and you should have good memories of the school. That's what we are trying for. Thank you. God bless.
I hope this assembly was informational as well as 10B's personal goal entertaining. Now we shall all rise for the college anthem followed by the national anthem.